Hey, crypto fans. So today's video, we're going to go over the big announcement from YieldNodes to say that they are stopping all withdrawals. Now, YieldNodes is the profitable and crisis-safe project, or so we thought, that has just announced that it's running into big issues and it needs to close down current operations and restructure in order to benefit us, you, the investor. But is this entirely the case, and is there a lot more going on behind the scenes? Well, we're going to have a look at the announcement. I'm going to give you my view, and I'm going to go over some of the main highlights that I've seen in other projects that are pretty similar to this. And then you can make your own mind up and leave a comment below. So if you want to know this cool stuff, stay tuned and let's get into the video. So you've all heard the news by now and you're all trying to sink it in and trying to decipher it. But there is still a lot of questions to be answered out there. But we in this video want to go over some of the main things that I know from an investor and what I've looked into, and some of the key highlights that I think people on one side of the fence will want to know, and they're the ones that want to stick by the project and think restructure is the right thing to do, and they're holding out euphoria and opium that this project then is going to make a shed load of money in a different sector and pay them back everything they've owed plus more. Then you've got other people on the other side of the fence saying you didn't stick to the certain part of the deal, my money's all locked up, I was coming to the end of a 6-month period where I was going to cash my money in, and now you've told me it's locked up for another year. Then we have the final investors, the ones in my opinion that have been really shafted, are the ones that got into it pretty recently on the promise that they lowered the threshold, €100 minimum, to get in, fully knowing that in the back of their minds they were going to have to restructure, lock all these funds up, and all these investors were pumping money in and encouraged to do so by lowering the fee. That to me was not cool and not good business. No one in the comments, no one in this project can tell me any otherwise that that was done in good faith. To me, that was pure shite tactics. But again, this is only my own opinion, and this is the only opinion I'm giving. So let's jump straight into YieldNodes and see what they're saying. So YieldNodes, the profitable and proven crisis safe project. Again, also we thought. Here they made the announcement. Now, a lot of people have read this, so I won't go over this whole announcement. I will leave a link to this website if you want to read the whole thing. But for me, I want to go over some key highlights. I want to go over the 5% per quarter, which works out to about 1.67% a month, which is vastly away from the large APYs back in the day that were promising of over 200%, and the APYs of 5% a monthly people were hoping. And I don't think this is a typo, unfortunately, because of the kind of translation from the German language. Then we need to cover with the funds that are going to be converted into NFT. So the funds that are going to be converted into the NFT are not going to be done until Q2 of 2023. And then the equity in them NFTs cannot be released till Q4 of 2023 as well, which is almost a year. Now, they're blaming the economics and the crypto winter, but they always knew that crypto winter was coming. We've been in a crypto winter, in my opinion, since last December, almost a year now. And they say that the economic situation with the war in Ukraine, high inflation and high energy prices, and the weakness of the euro has caused this issue. And obviously with all the people giving the FUD that a project is a scam. Now, I'm not going to be a pessimist here. I am an investor myself, so I do know about the weak economy. I do know what structures that have sort of come in, but they said that their main bulk of the structure was in the crypto winter. So the crypto winter was always going to be here. But again, they're saying that they now need to move out of the crypto space into the real world, or what I'd call centralized asset term, which is going to be a big shock to a lot of people as well. But let me just go through all the stuff that they are blaming, apart from the high inflation, high energy prices and the scam. And let me go through some of the key issues that they're going to face with restructuring this project. They're going out of crypto when we all knew the bear market was coming. That is one red flag for me. They're rushing the restructure into a mainly unknown to them German energy sector. That's another red flag to me, because they would have been gearing this up around the crypto sector, and they said they've took some advice, we've got all this money locked up, we need to go into the German energy sector, which is not what this was all about. Again, there's going to be restructuring costs that they've not factored in, and to get this YieldNodes Pro built and set out, it's going to cost a lot of money to get this kind of setup rush through. Again, that's going to have to come from somewhere, and if there's no profits in it as we speak, what money are they going to use to restructure that? You have to think. Then they're going to be issuing basically debt bonds in the form of NFTs that could be rendered worthless if the restructure doesn't go to plan, or people don't want to buy them NFTs in the future. Then they have said if the 5% drops for 3 months consecutively, then they will pay out the investment with any valued gain. Again, they've not highlighted how and when they can do this or how and when this structure will work. Then obviously another red flag is they would have seen this coming and lowered the minimum deposit this month to €100 for the people that have just got in, knowing that they would have to lock them funds up for a minimum of 6 months and you can't cash them out for a year. That to me is pure shite business and shite tactics. You cannot really lure someone in, and they will get looked at on this. So now they're going to have to put a certain amount of funds aside for legal fees, because if you're knowing when you're restructuring and you're locking people's money up and you've done it unethically, people that are going to raise questions for this. And if they've got anyone backing this project that's from an institutional side that doesn't get pleased, they are going to fire into these at 100 miles an hour. Now, I don't just want to alarm you on all them doom and gloom, but they are important red flags I feel I needed to highlight. Now, we have seen all of this before in big exchanges where they say they've got to do restructuring, reinvestments, and what they do is they get new investments in to pay off old debt that they maybe mismanaged or led. They've not arbitraged very well, and what they do is they use that new money to pay off old money. And then they say they have to restructure and lock in funds. And then what happens? The project goes to pot. And then a lot of projects start having problems when they have to freeze withdrawals. So let's pray this is not the case. And from the people on the opium side of the fence, we do want to keep the faith. With all this doom and gloom, we do have to hope for a small miracle that the team will pull this off. And there is not too much shady shite going on in the background. But we've all been in crypto long enough to know that there is a good chance that this is a high risk when companies are having to take these drastic measures and put out bleak announcements. Like I say, let's keep the faith, let's keep them innocent until proven guilty, and as always, trade smart, trade safe, and let's not try to get rich.